In this video, we're going to explain a little bit about the drilling menu that's available in KipwareT. And the drilling menu can accommodate anything from a simple drilled hole using a can cycle, or it can accommodate up to 3 different cycles. So maybe you have a deep hole that you want to peck for a while, then you want to have a little bit more retraction, then you want to have complete retraction to the bottom of the hole. This can be done in the one drilling menu. The first thing that you would select in the drilling menu would be how many cycles you want to use. Cycle number 1, just for a short drill, and that can be either output as a can cycle or the longhand G-code output. So you can determine whether or not you want to have it done using can cycle, whichever format you've selected in the settings page, or we can do the longhand G-code output for controls that don't have a can cycle. If you select cycle 1 and 2, then the second box becomes available, and you can do the first cycle whichever way you'd like, again as if either a can cycle or a G-code output. In the cycle number 2 you can describe. So the first thing you want to do is determine the depth that you want to go for cycle number 1 and input that in this field. Then the depth for cycle number 2, which would be input into this field. If you are going to peck, it would be the depth of each peck in this field, the feed rate for cycle number 2. So you can see that you can have 2 different feed rates, one for the first cycle, one for the second cycle. And then either a retract amount, which would be the chip break cycle, or complete retraction, which would come back all the way to the front of the part wherever you started to drill. So this clearance amount in Z and the Z coordinate of the front face, the first 2 fields, would determine where this retraction point is. And then the third cycle would be a combination of all 3. So you have cycle number 1, cycle number 2, and then the last cycle. And again, you can select either a chip break or the complete retraction, determined by what you would like to do in cycle number 3. So any combination of the 2, so you could maybe just straight drill this one, peck drill this one with complete retraction, and then maybe in the third cycle the same thing, or just straight drill through the hole. Depending on whether or not you put pecking amount in any of these fields determines whether or not the cycle will be a chip breaking cycle or not. If the amount of each peck is set to 0, it's just going to drill. There will be no pecking and no retract.